what's been going on there since the beginning of the new year. In the last 3.5 weeks, 1,300 have been killed, 1,300 Gazans at the hands of the Israeli government. 13 Israelis have been killed, most of them, a good number of them soldiers. But out of the Palestinians, there have been 500 children at least killed, 5,000 wounded. It's insane. It's just to protest any kind of killing that's going on in both sides, anything. And it's due to the Israeli attacks on Gaza right now. That's what today is about. We're from CJP, Committee for Justice in Palestine, and our mission in that group is to spread awareness, because there is no voice for the Palestinian people. There is no voice for the Gazans who are being attacked right now. In American media, we're not hearing about this at all. So awareness is definitely one of the major goals of today, and I think we got it. We have the other side out here protesting, so obviously we're making enough noise for somebody to hear.
Alternative media. You have to see it on Al Jazeera. You have to see it in Democracy Now! Because the mainstream media is profiting. It's profiting off of U.S. imperialism abroad. It's profiting from gaining natural resources and exploiting resources around the world for the U.S. What's going on in Palestine is exactly the same thing and exactly the same policy that U.S. took on Iraq. Iraq, ever since the Gulf War, has been under heavy economic sanctions that have been killing hundreds of thousands, almost 1.25 million Iraqis ever since the economic sanctions. Same economic sanctions, same policy that Israel has been using on Gaza.
That's right.
That's right.
This is the policy of Israel. This is the policy of the U.S. Displacing people, exploiting their resources, killing them off through economic sanctions, and all this in our name? All this in the name of democracy and freedom? I'm pretty sure that's not what democracy and freedom means to you. Or does it? Does democracy and freedom mean occupation, exploitation, death, and oppression? No! Tell me what democracy looks like!
This is what democracy looks like!
Tell me what democracy looks like!
This is what democracy looks like!
Democracy in this country is made by us, not the government.
That's right!
Democracy in this country has been raped, mutilated, tortured. Democracy has been changed, shifted, obliterated to mean something foul and evil and sad around the world. We need to show the rest of the world what democracy looks like. We have to show them that we are responsible, that we as citizens of this country can make the change this country is hoping for. We can end the aggressions overseas in the Middle East. We can end U.S.'s foreign policy. We can tell them we don't want any wars for oil. We want renewable energy. We want oil independence. We don't want to keep feeding the corporate hogs of the fucking oil companies. I'm representing Students Informing Now. We are an activist organization here on campus in support of immigrant students and many other things. We are especially in support of undocumented students, and we, as a group composed of immigrants, undocumented students, and allies, feel and understand the pain of being displaced, feel and understand the pain of being far away from our homes that also have been occupied, homes that have been violently occupied, homes that we can no longer live in, whether it's because of war or economic situations. Today I want to talk about human bodies and numbers. You have heard lots of numbers today in reference to bodies. Over 1,300 Palestinians murdered, over 5,000 Palestinians injured, over 350 Palestinian children killed, 13 Israelis killed, numbers that also grow daily. I believe all of you are here because you know that each number is a life. You are here because you care, because you are angry and sad and want no are smart enough and smarter than many government officials to recognize a massacre even if it's not in your neighborhood. You and millions others around the globe have been moved into the streets because you understand when bombs drop on families' homes. You understand when a police officer shoots a young man in the back of the head. When people go around and under and over and somewhere in between the border that arrogantly separates stolen Mexico from present Mexico. And they die lost, thirsty, and hopeful. You understand that an injustice has been done and that it affects everyone. Yeah. That even if you don't know them or look like them, you know that they are human, just like you. Yeah. And that they wanted to live just like you. Yeah. They are not numbers. A Palestinian body is not worth less than any other body. Yeah. Nor is a body of color worth less than a white man's body. Yeah. And a body that leaves her home to survive, an immigrant body, is not worth less than a body that is privileged to stay home, no matter where she decides to make a living. You've heard numbers, and you'll continue to hear numbers. Be critical about the numbers. What numbers are given more justice, more media coverage than others. Over 1 million Iraqis have died in this war against Arabs, not terrorism. And we know nothing about each of those lives, but we've seen many movies and stories done about September 11th and U.S. soldiers. Everyone's story on every side must be heard. Every human is just as important. Be critical about what you don't hear or see. And seek and listen and share those stories that have been lost to unjust silencing. Because as long as we are living on the same globe, we are each responsible for the injustices that happen near and far, especially if you are functioning in these United States. We are the much too privileged ones. We are privileged to complain that we are sick with the flu, while others are sick of bombs dismembering their mothers and fathers. We are privileged to wear political statements on our t-shirts, and thus I remind you to use that excess privilege to always do more. There's a popular saying about when the living upset the dead toss and turn in their graves or something like that. My grandfather is a Palestinian refugee, Jacob Ibrahim Saba, or mi abuelo Jack. He is buried under the earth in Uruguay, far away from his homeland of Palestine. I don't think that he is resting today. I don't think that he is tossing and turning in his grave.